supposed to be a coffee bean. Get that? Get that? So, welcome to the first episode of What's the Crack? I'm going to get a better banner at some point when I can afford to. So, what's the crack? This is going to be a monthly episode that I'm going to do on a featured coffee every month. And we're going to talk about the farm, the variety, the processing, and a little bit more of a story about the farm. So, welcome to episode 1, the very first one. Fazenda Cetec is a natural processed Brazilian coffee imported from a company called Minasol, Europe. I've been working with Minasol for a little while now, sourcing some coffees from them. Earlier in last year, I sourced a fermented sugarcane natural coffee from them through Fazenda Cetec, and that coffee was roasted by Fortitude Coffee Roasters, and it was featured in Caffeine magazine. If you read Caffeine Mag, you probably saw it a few months back, and like they've pretty much run out of it now because it's being used in UKBC competitions and everything. And Fazenda Cetec produce some amazing Brazilian coffees. Also, Minasol, the importer, they have just started their European segment of their importing, and Vinny, who runs the European sector of that, I'm hoping when I'm next up in Edinburgh, which is mid-March, I'm gonna sit down and do a vlog with Vinny. So I'm not gonna talk too much about Minasol and Fazenda Cetec just yet, because I kind of want him to explain it better. So that's going to be a really fun and interesting vlog, and you're going to learn a lot about kind of the importing processes from Minasol and how they go about finding their coffees and everything as well. So, Fazenda Cetec, I'll give you a little bit of background about it. It's run by a guy called Marcio Custadio. I'm really sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, Vinny. If you watch this, please correct me in our next video. And I've been in a little bit of contact with Marcio through Vinny and Minasol and a little bit of like social media stuff, and they're doing some amazing things. They're doing some amazing experiments with their processings, and they've got this beautiful farm, and they're doing some incredible work. So there's a lot still to come from Fazenda Cetec, and I'm starting seeing it more and more about through different importers now as well, which is kind of cool. So Fazenda Cetec was started by Marcio and Zainal Jr. Again, there's a story to that, but I kind of want Vinny to explain that a bit further. And like I said, this coffee that they're producing that we've bought at Total Roaster for you guys at home is a natural processed Brazilian Catuai 144. So this coffee, the natural processing of it, gives some really lovely, like slightly fruity flavours that you'd typically expect from a natural processed coffee. But being Brazilian, you've got loads of kind of caramels and pecan flavours in there, and like really good origin flavours of Brazil. And then the natural processing adds a bit of fruity, like raisin and plummy notes in there. Roasting this, I have roasted it in my popcorn popper, which I mentioned in my previous video. I'm not going to show the actual roasting of it just yet. I'm going to save that for another video, because it was quite fun. It was the first time I've roasted on a popcorn popper for quite a while, for about 8 or 9 years. So it was a bit scary at first, and there was a lot more smoke than I remembered. But it was good fun. So I roasted it to more of like a medium light. I think it was about 30 to 40 seconds after first crack, so definitely more on the lighter side of life. And it was giving some beautiful flavours. It made a really nice V60 when I brewed it up. This is also a really good coffee, I think, if you're looking into working with blends, maybe. So I'd have this as kind of your base note of your blending coffees. Maybe add like a little Ethiopian natural in there, or you could even work with some other kind of South American coffees, put the El Salvador, or go wild and add this crazy Kenyan that we've got going, or the Malawi, to get some like plummy, raisiny, blackcurranty notes in there as well, working with the pecan and the caramels from the Brazilian. And I think because it's a natural, it works really well with that raisiny kind of dried berry fruit flavour notes. So that's kind of my thoughts on this. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this What's the Crack stuff yet, so it's a work in progress. bear with me. This sign, I'm gonna fix it. We're gonna have a better one. But the point of also this what's the crack thing is that with the featured coffee of the month, I want to talk about it to you guys, but I'd also kind of like to open a discussion about it as well. I want to know how you guys have been roasting it, what profiles, what you've been roasting it on, and kind of open a talk about it. So this video is going to be posted on YouTube, and I'm also going to link it to the website. So if you want to comment on the YouTube video, that would be awesome. And we can start like some kind of discussion on there, or even on the Total Roaster Facebook page. If you've not found it already, go give that a like, and we can start talking about roasting and stuff like that. And I'd also maybe one day like to input like a forum type thing onto the Shopify website. I don't know how to do that. So if anybody watching this is kind of a computer or Shopify whiz and knows how to integrate like a forum thing onto a Shopify website, please get in contact. www.totalroaster.com, or email me at info@totalroaster.com. That would be grand. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say about Fazenda Cetec. It's an awesome coffee. I apologise that there's not more information on it just yet. I could talk more about it, but I really want to do it justice and leave that to Vinny when I go up to Edinburgh and catch up with Vinny, because that's going to be a really cool video when that happens. And there's also going to be more really cool stuff happening. So Fazenda Cetec is the featured coffee through February we're in. It's just been Valentine's Day, I should know it's February. Yeah, so Fazenda Cetec is the featured coffee through February. And then March we're going to have a different featured coffee, and it's going to be a new What's the Crack video. And we're going to talk about, again, roasting profiles of it, flavour notes, the farm, and where it's come from and everything else. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I shall see you next time for the next video. Cool. Bye.